An update on the release of the latest round of hostages and their condition. Israeli government spokesman Avi Hyman. Avi, just let's start with the condition. We, of course, 7 weeks of captivity, mostly in dark tunnels. I've read and heard where many have lost a tremendous amount of weight. Give us an update on conditions.
Charles, thank you very much for having me on, and thank you for your continued support. We are checking their conditions. It's an unfolding story. They only were released in the last 4 days. So, I mean, I can tell you an 85-year-old was released yesterday and went straight into, was flown straight to the hospital to go into intensive care. She's in a serious way, and we pray for her speedy recovery. But the scenes that we're seeing are bittersweet. The mood in Israel is bittersweet. On the one hand, we're seeing masked monsters bringing out hostages. We're happy to see those hostages, but still so many are left behind. And at the same time, we shouldn't have to see images of 3-year-old twin girls being brought in by masked Hamas terrorists. 3-year-old twins shouldn't be taken hostage. 9-month-old babies shouldn't be taken hostage. This is absurd.
It is absurd.
It needs to end.
Yeah, you know, it's so amazing to me that we have rules for war, right? The Geneva Accords, and this is beyond the pale from the very beginning, from the invasion, from the barbaristic invasion to what we're seeing: 80-year-olds kept in captivity, malnutrition, 3-year-old twins, and yet, you know, we just here in America we've been shocked at the public relations aspect of this, and I'm sure in Israel as well about the messaging of all of this that makes Hamas somehow the victims in all of this.
Yeah, there's a real problem in the world today of moral relativism when people are putting the baby beheaders on the same plane as those pure innocent babies. We saw these terrorists storm through our borders, kill children in front of their parents, parents in front of their children, again, behead babies, burn whole families alive. This conflict is as black and white as the ISIS flags that we found on some of those terrorists. And it's a time now, more than ever, where we call on people to have moral clarity and stand with Israel in this time of need.
One of the debates that's growing is that it's an ideology, and it's hard to destroy an ideology, although some are saying if you look back to Germany, if you look back to Hitler, if you look back to the Nazism, once you killed the leadership, the ideology faded away.
Well, it's more than leadership. Yeah, it's the organization itself. And that is exactly it. I mean, who would have thought that Germany and Japan would be among America's closest allies at that time? Yeah, we will plow on with our mission, which is to totally destroy Hamas, to ensure that they cannot rule over Gaza, that they are part of history, free Gaza from Hamas, and of course, to free those 240 hostages. No one can be left behind.
How concerned are you, Avi, that the extension of this truce now, apparently 2 days, there's a lot to be said about momentum in every aspect of life, but particularly in war and warcraft, allows Hamas to regroup to a certain extent and maybe create more havoc?
So it's about calculated risk. We know that we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have just received 50 hostages had Hamas not been on their knees begging, please stop. We hit them so hard. We took out so many of their leaders. We created serious pain for Hamas, so they were begging us to stop. And that's how we got these hostages out, and we will continue that pressure. You know, we will do the humanitarian pause for as long as we think it makes sense to get as many hostages out as we can, and then we'll plow through with the mission. And I can tell you from speaking to soldiers on the ground, they are ready. They do not want to come home until Hamas is part of history, because never again can we allow these barbarians to plow through our borders and do what they did on October 7th. And they have made it very clear publicly that they seek to do it again, and again. So the people are with us. The people are with the army. We will destroy Hamas.
Avi, how do you determine when you've destroyed Hamas? how do you pick out members of Hamas versus just Palestinians who in some degree may also have the same objective?
We need a situation by which Hamas is no longer in control of Gaza. Hamas can no longer keep our people hostage or keep their own people hostage. The day after Hamas, we'll see three things. We'll see the Gaza Strip is demilitarized, the Gaza Strip is de-radicalized, and Gaza will have to be rebuilt in a very different way. Israel will have to control the security aspects, and there'll be a new type of civilian leadership there, a new type of civilian leadership that doesn't teach their children to hate Jews from age 0, that doesn't teach their children that one day they will take over the state of Israel from the river to the sea and it will be Jew-free. We need, like you said, there is a historical precedent, what happened in Germany, what happened in Japan,
right,
where we hope for a better future for both our children and their children.
Avi, thank you for taking the time out, and all the best. We'll certainly reach out to you again real soon. I appreciate it. Thank you.